Hello friends, welcome to all of you on my channel. Today, I brought to you a new episode of Relationship Advice, which is based on the story. Before starting the video, I request to my new friends, please subscribe to this channel and also hit the bell icon so that you can get my upcoming video notifications first. Let's start the video. R/relationship advice. My parents are against me being with my girlfriend because she's blind, and they say she'll limit my future options. How do I deal with them being rude towards her and trying to guilt me out of my relationship? Side note, I, female, 18, came out to my parents as bi a few years ago, and they were nothing but supportive and understanding, so I know this isn't likely part of the issue. I've been in a relationship with my current girlfriend, female, 20, for a few months now, and my family recently found out and got to meet her. She's come over for dinner with my family and I a few times, and she's always really polite, and they have good conversations. She's the kind of person who knows enough about most things to be able to participate in whatever topic, and in general there's been a positive vibe when they're together. However, she's blind and my parents seem to have a real problem with her being a burden on me or something stupid like that. After the first time she was over for dinner, my mother had a talk with me about how things were going, if it felt like long-term thing, and I said yay. They sat me down again later that week and talked about how I need to always make sure I'm thinking things through and considering my best interests, etc. And I didn't feel comfortable, so I didn't prolong it. After she'd been over a few more times and once again, there was no obvious issues in them getting along or any animosity, Mom asked to talk to me again and discussed how it's not in my best interests to be with someone who will limit my future options. I admit, when we talked I reacted badly and got angry because she was saying it in a really condescending tone and acting like my girlfriend is helpless or something. She's really independent and capable, and I've explained that before, and since then they haven't had a conversation for the past few weeks, but they don't like whenever I bring her up, and they've been a lot more cold and almost rude to her at points for no particular reason. They don't greet her when she comes over to hang out or try and show interest, and when they do talk they have this stupid patronizing way of doing it that irks me. I have no clue what to do about this, because they are just being discriminatory and unpleasant about something that doesn't affect them, because they think she's gonna limit me somehow, and I seriously hate it. I'm worried they're just trying to be passive aggressive to make her feel bad and guilt me. Advice needed big time. Now, Readers gives advice on this situation. Look, your parents are somehow not bigots against bi women, but are obviously bigots when it comes to the disabled. It's not 1464. A blind person can and will lead a productive and healthy life, as they should know from talking to her. You should tell them they're only going to alienate you if they keep acting in this disgusting way, and make it extremely clear that what they are doing is bigotry. I would also stop bringing your girlfriend over and cut your parents out from you and her's relationship until they learn some maturity. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm proud of you for taking your girlfriend's side without hesitation. Good job. I'm a little older than you and a guy, 24 male, but my ex-girlfriend is blind. Though we are separated right now for a bunch of personal reasons, the relationship was absolutely amazing for the year we were together, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner. While we were dating, not a single one of my friends or family members ever said anything negative or insulting or critical about her or her disability. You know why? Because they support me and they aren't ignorant trash. I'm afraid I don't really have any practical advice for you here, but just know that your parents are 100% in the wrong, and that truly supportive people in your life won't even think, much less say, that sort of nonsense. Because it really is just nonsense. I wish you guys the best. Don't make this about discrimination or racism or blindness. Don't waste your breath showing them how a blind person can be a contributing member of society, etc. Just tell them, this is my girlfriend and I love her. You don't have to love her, you don't even have to like her, but you do have to respect her. I don't know if we will be together forever, but as long as we are together, I expect you to be polite to her, and I will not listen to you say anything bad about her. And then follow through. I'm legally blind, and I can tell you most people with disabilities are not hopeless. I graduated with a 4.3 GPA. Your parents sound blessed. I think you should talk to your girlfriend about it, because this affects her too. If you don't think will change, and they are a big part of your life, that is putting her in an extremely uncomfortable situation. I'm not an expert in anything here, but maybe your parents really do think the blind are completely helpless. There's certain media out there that would support that. Is it possible you can find movies or articles about blind people doing well and living their lives well? Your parents might genuinely not realize that this is a disability that can be successfully lived with and are trying to help you in a very misguided way. 1. Since this is your first girlfriend, it's possible there's some homophobia at play too. Whether homophobia, ableism, or both, your parents need to deal with their issues. 2. I would set a goal of moving out and try to list out all of the concrete steps to doing so. If their behavior doesn't get better, remind your girlfriend and yourself that this is a temporary situation and that you're taking every step to get out of it. 3. Once you have moved out, you can let your parents know that a continuing relationship with you requires them to be respectful to any partners you choose. First of all, as a blind woman myself, thank you for being an awesome person. You seem to take this as just a part of who your girlfriend is and don't, from this post, seem to treat her differently. That said, listen to your heart and her. We may be blind and yes require some help sometimes. However, we are not a burden and most of us would feel pretty bad to be assumed as such. Your parents may just be trying to be helpful, but it just really isn't. And it is just, reading this just makes me feel bad and recall some resentment from a former relationship where I was taken advantage of among other things. Hopefully your parents will come around, but they may not be able to see past the fact your girlfriend can't see. Keep being awesome and good luck to you both. Update: my parents are against me being with my girlfriend because she's blind and will limit my future options. Female 18, female 20. I made a post here a few days ago talking about my parents' discriminatory attitude towards my girlfriend because she's blind. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for all the people that took the time to comment on my post and help me out. Today, it's evening now. She wanted to come over again, and I had told her about the post, so I decided to talk to them first. I sat down with my parents and discussed some specific issues and basically pushed them to actually name some ways they thought her disability would inconvenience me and answered them for them. After that, I asked them to please stop treating her the way they are and that it wasn't fair of them and enough is enough. I mentioned that she was coming to stay for the night and that if they talked to her, I wanted it to be respectful and inviting. They took it okay, and my dad definitely took it better than I thought. Mom not so much. Afterwards, I spoke to dad privately and just asked him to keep an eye on my girlfriend whenever they're in the same area and watch how she does things by herself and is independent, and he said okay. Tonight has been okay so far. They haven't really had any conversation this evening, but there wasn't anything rude or condescending/belittling, and I'm wondering how long this will last. I hope my dad actually pays attention and maybe points out some of the independent things to my mom, but IDK. My girlfriend was pretty pleased when I told her about the post and said it was really sweet that I wanted to go and seek advice for how to help make them treat her better, so I got good girlfriend points. I figured people might appreciate this update, and I thought I would ask for strategies to use so I can keep this initial little bit of progress going and make it an actual change. Readers, again give suggestion on this. I'm married to a blind person and I want to be honest, being with her definitely will limit some options, so your parents aren't wrong. However, if you love her and are willing to deal with those limitations, then more power to you. You established some very adult boundaries and began enforcing them. This is a key milestone in becoming your own person. Good for you. Good girlfriend points from me too. taking care of your lady, and telling your parents to stop being dicks. All great stuff. You are lucky you found each other. You sound like a delightful match. Hope it all keeps improving. I think it's great that you had a sit down with your parents and let them know that your girlfriend can do things independently. I'm blind. No sighted girls at my school would date me because of this. They just thought I was a loser cause I couldn't drive or do anything. What I had to do was prove to everybody in my life that I'm worth it, and then I can do anything I want to on my own. I actually had to move out of state just so they would stop harassing me and telling me what to do all the time. But eventually, I managed to prove my worth and prove that I'm an independent person. It's really going to take time. Try setting a place where you and your parents can meet and have your girlfriend get there by herself. She's just going to have to show everybody what she can do. It's bullshit that you have to do this in the first place as a blind person, but it just is what it is. In time, they will see, just like my parents and friends did, that she can do things for herself and doesn't need people to baby her. I mean, I wouldn't call it limit, but rather that you'll have a harder path to cross together. But honestly, that's your call. It's not their call to make, and I wish you and your girlfriend the best of luck and happiness. The ignorance in these comments. Blindness is not all or nothing. There are vast degrees of it. The reality is, it is limiting. Acknowledging that is not cruel. That said, good for OP for drawing boundaries and demanding her parents treat her girlfriend like a human being. Your parents should value your happiness more than anything. Maybe they should try to get to know your girlfriend and give her chance before dismissing her over a condition she has zero control over. There will be limitations that you two face, and you will have to accommodate her sometimes. That much is true. But to cite that as a reason not to enter a relationship with a blind person kind of implies that they aren't deserving of companionship. If it comes up again, tell them this implication. They will probably stress that they just don't want that companion to be you, because this is actually about their future, not yours. They don't want to have to make accommodations for her at family gatherings. They're holding out hope for grandkids even if adopted. They think you won't be able to provide for them in retirement. It could be anything. But that's what it's really about. My 29 female husband, 30 male, helped cover up his friend's affair and can't understand why I'm angry at him. For context, my husband and I have been together for 7 years. He has a best friend, Lam, 30, who is married to Alina, 31, and they've been together longer than us. I've been friends with Alina almost as long as I've known my husband. I met her through my husband/Lam. A month ago, my friend called me in tears to tell me she found out her husband was having an affair. She confronted him, and he swore he would end things and focus on their marriage. 2 days ago, her and Lam called my husband to ask him to confirm Lam was going to spend the evening with him. My husband said he was. I know he was lying because we had plans that evening, so I confronted him about it. He got defensive and said he was only helping his friend out and it wasn't a big deal because he only needed time alone and that Alina was too controlling. We got in an argument and eventually I asked him if he knew Lam had had an affair. He denied it, but he's a bad liar, so I knew he was BSing. I asked him how long he's been covering for him, but he refused to answer any of my questions. When I told him I was going to let Alina know Lam wasn't going to be with my husband, he got really upset and told me I shouldn't do that. We kept arguing over it, and I eventually told him we should cancel our plans and he could really go hang out with Lam, since helping him was so important to him. I ended up moving into the guest room and haven't really spoken to my husband much since. He keeps telling me he doesn't understand why I'm so angry, since it's not like he was the one having the affair, but I really can't look at him the same way. How do I explain to him why I'm so upset with him? Am I overreacting? TLDR, my husband helped his friend cover up his affair, knowing I was friends with his wife. He now doesn't see why I think it's a big deal. Now, readers gives advice on this situation. I would explain it to him like he is in Alina's shoes. Ask him how he would feel if he found out you were having an affair and Alina lied to him about being with you. You are not overreacting. If your husband doesn't see the fact Liam cheated on his wife as a bad thing, regardless of what is going on in the marriage, and was willing to help cover up the affair, then it's not a far leap to think he could easily make the same choices. Not only that, but he was content to make both of you accomplices to cover up the affair by giving Liam an alibi. It's bad enough to do that if a stranger was asking, but Alina is someone you consider to be a friend. Till your husband can understand why you are upset, this will not be something you can move past. Even then there may be lingering damage. I suggest you to seek out marriage therapy to work through these issues. Maybe an unbiased professional will help him understand why his actions, as well as Liam's, were so horrible. I dropped a lifelong friend over this shit. I found out he was cheating and told him he needed to tell his girlfriend at the time that I was friends with, or I would. He thought I was bluffing. I wasn't. I haven't spoken to him in 7 years. She and I are still friends and she's married to a Marine now. I don't like cheaters. I have absolutely no respect for them. Therefore I'm not friends with them. My dad did this for his friend for years while I was growing up. It was like an open secret. Even I knew about it. His buddy Murphy would come down on a certain day of the week, have dinner with us, shower and leave. He told his wife that he was playing cards at our place and my dad backed him up. He was a nice enough guy, but when the realization hit me as I grew to understand the depth of the situation, holy shit. I always wonder how my father thought it was appropriate for his own daughter to see this situation and not think that maybe they could have made it less obvious. For propriety's sake, you are not overreacting. Tell your husband it's all about his character and morals. Anyone who helps cover up cheating is also lying to and betraying the person being cheated on, and it implies they think cheating is okay. If he thinks anyone cheating is okay, especially when they're cheating on a friend of yours, then he wouldn't think twice about doing the same to you. Tell him straight up that you can't trust someone who helps a cheater have an affair, so he needs to tell Alina immediately, cut Liam totally out of his life, and see a marriage counselor with you. Immediately. If he refuses to do even one of those things, file for divorce, because he will have made it clear that he would rather a better cheater than fix your trust in him. Him being an accomplice in an affair has exposed several things to you. It's not as simple as he didn't have an affair, it's he did. Evidence that what you and him think is acceptable in a marriage are different. Evidence he thinks an affair is acceptable. Evidence he thinks lying to you/wives is acceptable. Evidence he thinks lying to Alina/friends is acceptable. Evidence of his disrespect for Alina/friends/women/marriage. With all that spelled out, of course it's alarming for you. How do you trust him now knowing all that? You either don't, or you work through it together. Spell this out to him. It may help for him to have other points of view spelled out also. He doesn't seem to recognize that because someone he likes did a bad thing, it is a bad thing. How would he feel if you cheated on him and a mutual friend picked someone covered for you, and then, even after he found out, he knew that the friend was lying to him? How would he feel about himself, you, the friend, marriage, trust? The strength of your marriage is your mutual vows to one another. It is only backed by your integrity. Your husband assisted Liam in breaking his oath, and what's more, he doubled down on breaking his own integrity by lying to you. I'd just ask your husband what else he's lied about, and how you can know now if that's actually the extent of it. Integrity matters. I'd say there are few things in life short of someone's harm that are worth breaking it over. I'm not sure what he could say or do at this point to give you any assurance, but that's on him. I mean that, it's on him. Don't come up with ideas. He needs to dig out of this one. So friends, how did you like today's story? Comment below, and if you find the video interesting, then like and share this video. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, press the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon, because I keep making videos like this. So friends, that's all in today's video. I meet you again in new video with new story. Till then, take care of your and keep watching the Story Station.